this is a very spontaneous action actually. No script, nothing prepared whatsoever, at least not from my side. And we are both in the email space. We both are developing a SaaS software for email marketers. And somehow we ended up in this call and decided, let's share our story a little bit and maybe showcase our product to the market. And that's basically it. So maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit, Philip.
Yeah, for sure. My name is Philip. I'm the founder of the platform Alpaco. And as Kevin said, we're in the email space, but from the opposite end of where Sido is. And that's why the conversation is pretty interesting, because we cover both our niches into a full package. And that's really what we're going to explore. So when you start creating an email, let's just do that and then pick the template. You're already in. There's nothing more you need to do. You can just start dragging and dropping in your blocks, and they just come down there. You can do all sorts of things, but let's just start out with one of them. Here you see I have a block, and in other ESPs, in order to have this differentiate between the directions, you would have to have another block to throw in there. In Alpaco, it can be a design rule saying, I want to toggle the direction of this.
Right.
Or it could be something like your text. It can theoretically be anything you want.
And everything what I see here is something you have decided when you built the object, right? So
yeah.
Every object could have different fields and different options. It's completely customized. Yeah,
that's correct. And all of these things just, they're designed they're catered to my brand. You see here, the button doesn't show unless there's some text in it, and so on and so forth. You could theoretically also have a video playing in your email, which most email editors doesn't allow you to do. Where we really differentiate ourselves is also the fact that you can upload images, obviously. But here you see, it's the same image across a lot of different variations, but it's the same image with totally different renderings, right? So what you could do in Alpaco is that you can upload an image and create design rules based on that. Then it will take your image and crop it to your specifications.
Oh, wow.
Size, width, a play button on it, tilted, whatever you want in these situations, right? So you as an editor don't need to know the size of the image you need to upload. You just need to upload something. All the designs rules we use in Photoshop or Figma, those are just baked into the template now. So it's really fast in that sense that you can just chuck out some design, right? It can change the design based on how many products you have. So here you see I have 2 products. Then the design changes a bit, and also it changes in the back end, like in the code section. It's not just something that we just append.
Right.
But it also could change to 3 layouts, and the code changes in the background. It could change to 4, and so on and so forth. We can create these design rules, you would say, where you can control how your design looks. And the same goes for you can do if it's an equal number or if it's an unequal number, you can also do variations of it and have it count for you. And all of these things are some of the things that's baked into Alpaco as its templating language and its templating engine, basically. In most email editors, it's like a drag and drop feature. You can change some settings and Bob's your uncle. That's it.
Yeah.
In Alpaco, you can create these individual blocks down to the smallest detail, and create something that's truly unique. It's your code. There's nothing that we tamper with. We don't render code for you. So it's a drag and drop editor with your specific design needs and nothing more.
and this gives you fully freedom.
Full freedom, and especially when you look at stuff like dark mode or interactivity, that's where most editors, fall short because they don't have this level of flexibility. So I was actually an email developer in an agency.
There you go.
I was sitting with this exact issue. Coding a lot of emails for big brands across the globe, and there was always this bottleneck of if the customer had some design changes that needed to go through me, and they were in Singapore and I'm in Europe. So it's like, okay, so we go a full day before we even hear from them, right?
Yeah.
And I was like thinking to myself, if we can do CMS solutions for customers on web, why can't we take that same logic and apply to email? It's the same issue, really. The client has some tech fixes or changes. Why not let them just implement it themselves and see how it performs? So this whole issue with you have different data sources and bringing those together to create a coherent image of what's actually going on. Would you say that's what Sinos is about?
Yeah, I think so. I think to become less dependent on IT, stitch data together, that's one thing. So actually get ownership of that process. You're also responsible for the numbers, but in most cases, you're not responsible of getting the data into your fingertip, right? So make that possible with our plug-and-play integrations. That's one. And another thing is give you an interface that works more friendly and faster than the tools that a lot of companies have in place. You can see a lot of columns and rows, and all of those rows are campaign results.
Okay.
And the more columns, the more dimensions here on the right side I enable, the more granular the data becomes. So the more rows I get because it becomes more detailed. But if I remove, let's say, some columns, you can see I only end up with 2 rows because the only dimension I have is market. So all of the email campaigns that I've sent are now aggregated on the market value. So these are all US campaigns, and those are all Europe campaigns.
Okay, wow, okay. That's a lot of data to compile just those 2 numbers in the end, right? Because it's all emails, it's all opens, it's all clicks, it's everything in it.
Yeah, and we even stitch it to Google Analytics, right? So all of the events in your emails, all the click events, we pull the URL from those clicks, and then we pull all of the unique UTMs, and then we match that with what we can find in the GA data set, and then we stitch it together. So all of these campaigns, they have certain UTM combinations in their links, and all of the sessions that are related to those UTM clicks are here, like the results, so the revenue or the value, stuff like that, but we can pull from the e-commerce data set from Google Analytics. A dashboard like this is also drag and drop. So I could drag any card and select the metric, and I can apply filters. So I could say I only want to see the clicks all of, let's say, a certain market, where market is to US. So now it's just US. You can drag and drop, funnels. Yeah, it's pretty easy, and we try to keep it as easy as possible, but still powerful enough to make sure that you can report on the numbers that really matter. Again, this is also something that a lot of people want, but they don't know it's actually this easy to set it up. So what you could do is you can set an alert, and you could say, I would like to get an alert if a certain automation or a certain mailing type, let's say transactional, meets a certain condition. And in most cases, it's like a negative condition. So you would like to get notified if something is below a certain threshold. But you could also do a positive trigger, right? So if the revenue is higher, then maybe you would like to know so you can, celebrate.
Celebrate, yeah.
Yeah. We didn't prepare it. We didn't script it. It's just us talking. and I really think it's awesome what you're doing with your platform. I think
You
it's
too.
the second time that I saw some of the screenshots. The last time you only showed me like one screen real quick, so now I've seen even more. And I really appreciate the time and thanks for sharing it.
You too, and thanks
Yeah,
for having me.
I hope to see you soon in
You
real
too,
life.
Tim. All right. Well, see you around.
See you later, man.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao.